So tomorrow's the day. Closing arguments in the Stormy Daniels hush money misdemeanor case. And honestly, it looks like the state really has made a pretty important mistake. Obviously, this is not a typical case. This has got 24/7 news coverage, the lion's share of it being negative. It's got probably the most well-known figure in all of the modern world. If there was any case on the planet that should have been sequestered, should have had the jury sequestered, it's this case. I mean, probably really any case that involved any candidate this close to any election should probably have a jury sequester, right? But when you look at it all objectively and you look at it in the aggregate, it's almost as if the state really doesn't care about protecting the outcome of the case, whatever it is, on appeal. They just seem to just want to increase the odds of getting the conviction now, regardless of what happens in the future. And that just screams stacked deck.
Wait a week after the evidence closes to actually do closing arguments and then give jury instructions. This is unheard of. But I'm going to tell you what, there's a silver lining in this, Alina. Donald Trump needs a juror or jurors who are driven by justice to fight for him. I don't want a juror on Thursday or Friday going into Memorial Day weekend to go, you know what, I got a party going on. I want to end this case early. So starting on Tuesday, there's nothing on the calendar. We're not going into a holiday weekend. I think it could bode well for President Trump, for those people on the jury who understand the law and the facts to fight for him and fight for justice. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. The only counter argument to that, and of course it's the lawyer in me to give you the counter, but the counter argument to that is these are not sequestered jurors.
True.
They should have been sequestered because, in my opinion, these jurors are handling something that is completely unprecedented and unwarranted in America. And for them to be able to be out and about on a holiday weekend with friends and families who have opinions, who are watching the news, TV's on the background at the pool party, I have serious concerns. If they're left-winging and they're watching MSDNC, as my client calls it, or CNN, they're not going to get fair news. They're going to hear, but by the way, they have been saying that this case is a hoax, which is shocking. But they know that the jurors are out there listening, and I have concerns about that. Time can be on your side. Sometimes you're right there. But in this instance, I have worries about them going back to whatever friends might have, Trump derangement syndrome, forgetting all sense of reality and coming back and sitting in that box and saying, you know what, I've got to take one for the DNC. I don't want that. I want law to fact, because if we can get that, we will win. We will not just get a hung jury, we will get an acquittal. So let's see.
But you had 5 weeks where those jurors were probably interacting with those same left-wingers. They got to see Donald Trump in the Bronx and all the love and support he got from communities that you normally don't see with.
Both sides, man, very, very good points. And I don't know if it's the optimist in me, right? But I think that the time is a good thing. I think that the main thing that these jurors have had to ruminate on over this break is that they still have no real clue what crime was even committed. And I think, honestly, I think that's exactly what the break was for. I think that the judge's staff, through whatever judicial activist organization they could get help from, has been spending this time trying to figure out what they could possibly deliver to the jury. I mean, this case is so flawed and so weak that it really is almost fitting that this is the last true hope for the left. I mean, their candidate is a failure. Their policies are non-existent. They have no success to run on. Their base is literally in the streets threatening random Jews. I mean, every single thing is burning and they have no answers. They have no way to put out the fires. The only thing they can consistently do is tell people how good things really are. And if it were just wars, or if it was just the economy, or if it was just crime, or just one or two things, random things, I'm sure that kind of thing would still work. That gaslight would still work, but they have broken everything. And now their last hope gets hung on an 8-year-old misdemeanor that they can't even explain, and then nobody cares about. Pretty perfect when you think about it. But that's just my take, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.